Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Streaming it up in the lines on Broadway. All right. Gonna get into some Flight Simulator today. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Sorting out the stream here. There. Oh, hello. Well, hello. All right. Okay. So I think we're gonna try and do some landing challenges in Microsoft Flight Simulator. As of late, I have had a newfound, or maybe a finally blossoming and blooming, hatching, birthing interest in flight. It's been lingering for a while. My mom worked for American Airlines for a long time. I remember my grandpa used to show me his plane models. He was a mechanic in the Air Force. And with this new computer, I'm able to run flight sim pretty darn well. So I've been playing a lot, and it's pretty fun. I don't have a yoke and all that full setup yet, but nonetheless, even with the Xbox controller, it's still quite fun until I end up getting a yoke and maybe a flight stick, maybe some other controls, the throttle and all that stuff. Let's hop into it. Let's see here. Hopefully the stream's okay. Let's see. I think I'm using OBS, open broadcast software, something like that, to essentially funnel the video of me, the audio, and the footage of the game. Combine it all into one and then stream it to YouTube. Still getting used to it. Haven't used it too much, so bear with me. But everything seems to look good so far. Hopefully we can get some audio. Yep. Okay, so we're getting audio. Flight sim. Cool. Yeah. Microsoft Flight Simulator is a simulator and not a game, right? We'll call it a game because they play it just for fun. But Microsoft has done a pretty good job of trying to make it as close to real life as possible. I have heard from a pilot or two that I've watched on YouTube talk about how there's another simulator called X-Plane that's apparently a little bit better for one-to-one simulation flight than Microsoft Flight Simulator. But Microsoft Flight Simulator has the visuals, the graphics down. Can fly anywhere in the world. It uses real-time data, air traffic data, and weather and time. It's really, really cool. But for now, we're not going to do any like long haul flights or anything like that. We might do some sort of, simulated one-to-one, trying to actually start the plane from cold dark state where you have to go through the checklist and stuff. I don't know how interesting that's going to be to you guys. Anyone interested in aviation, hopefully you'll enjoy this. And I'm learning and stuff. I've just been binge watching videos. I want to try and get my private pilot's license. I did a discovery flight at a local flight school. Basically, this guy just took me up for an hour or so in a Cessna 172. Just a little single engine, overhead wing, fixed wing plane. The Cessna 172 is the most widely used plane. It sells the most. They're all over the place. So every flight school pretty much has it. And we went actually around northern Arizona, around the Sedona area. That was really, really cool. Just beautiful. Landed at the Sedona airport, which is on this mesa. It's like probably like 500 feet or so above the rest of the town that's flat, mostly surrounded by these big, beautiful red mountains and stuff. It was absolutely. Let's try and do some landing challenges here. I'm gonna hop into it. Let's see. So I've done some of these. Let's try and see what my scores are on some of them. Okay, so I've gotten to be, the airliners are pretty darn hard to fly, as you can imagine. So I might want to avoid those. But I've gotten some pretty decent scores on some of the other ones here. And you know what? Just for the hell of it, I know I just said that the airliners are tough. Let's try Sydney in the Airbus A320. Airbus is a French company. It's basically, the other half of Boeing in the sense that the vast majority of planes that you fly in commercial airliners, commercial airlines are going to be either Boeing or Airbus. And the A320 is very popular. Let's see here. I think the Neo version of it was supposed to be a lot more fuel efficient than some of the other ones. Let's see. So we're going to be in Sydney, Australia. How you going? Situated on the open oceanic embayment of Botany Bay, Sydney Kingsford Smith International Airport is one of the longest continuously operated commercial airfields in the world. Though the approach to runway 16R, 16 right, is quite straightforward, landing an A320 in one of the largest airports in Australia under the best conditions is still a challenge from most pilots. All right, so we're landing on runway 16 right. Runway length is 13,000 feet, which is long for runway. Elevation is only 7 feet above sea level. And some of these people, man, on the world top 10s are getting absolutely incredible scores. I mean, the 2 million is the max. So let's give it a go. All right. Starting airborne. Be tough. Loading it up. Yeah, being a pilot would be pretty dang cool, man. Imagine owning a plane one day. Just drive. Just fly yourself around, and it's expensive. Fuel is expensive. This is one thing that I have noticed about the airliner planes in the landing challenges. When they load, they sound really darn funky. Okay, we're in it. So there's Sydney. Got the Opera House out there. I did not pay enough attention to see where the landing strip is. Oh, okay. It's right ahead of us. I think we're moving. We're at about 160 knots. We probably want to get that closer to 120, I'm gonna say, by landing. So I'm gonna reduce the speed. We're at an altitude of 2,000 feet, so I'm actually gonna reduce the speed heavily. We can try and bleed off some altitude. Okay. Let's go ahead and put the gear down. And 1 notch of flaps. Okay, so we're full flaps right now, 0 power. Oh my. Okay, there's the landing gear. I wanted to put that down. Oh, now I'm trimming up. Okay. Not easy. Not easy, ladies and gentlemen. And now, did my mouse just die? Okay. Alright. Okay. No, my mouse is good. We might have to try this one again. Let's get a little more power, because I think we're pretty far away. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god, it's a giant beast. It's a giant beast. Oh no, we're too high. We're too high. I'm going to kill the power completely. Try and go nose down. I want to lose more airspeed. As you can see at the bottom left, you'll see that little ticker. I think it's called, there's a tape. 140 knots. Probably want to be around 120. We're going to try and flare a little bit to lose some airspeed. This isn't looking so bad, actually. Oh, and we're ballooning, which is the expression where you land, you touch the wheels down, and you end up hopping back up in the air, kangaroo style. Okay, this plane has reverse thrusters, so I'm putting those in so we can come to a full stop, and I'm braking. Not the best landing. And we're going to be graded, and we got a B. I'm not terribly disappointed, but now that we tried it once, definitely going to give it a go again. I know where the runway is. I know what the airspeed is. I'm going to try and dial it back a little bit. And let's see if we can do it. Start. I'm going to check something real quick on my end here. I don't think we're streaming at the highest quality possible. A little bit sluggish. Something real quick. Yeah, I think YouTube, somewhere in between me and YouTube, there's some issues. It seems like I'm trying to stream in 4K, so we're going to dial that back to 1080. 80 at 60 frames. Good. 9,000 per second. I think this is going to be a lot better. So we're going to get higher frame rates here. That way things don't look choppy for y'all. Let's get back into it. Let's land at Sydney Harbour. I've actually been to Sydney a couple times. It's a pretty cool place. It's a new country. You know, it's not like you're going to go there and see ancient ruins or any kind of crazy history or anything. But people are really nice. Easygoing, laid back. No worries, mate. Been to Sydney, been to Brisbane, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, Cairns, or Cairns as Americans would call it, up in the north. But we're in it again. All right. Okay. So, right down here, we've got our airspeed indicator on the left. We've got our altitude indicator here. We've got our attitude indicator here, which is showing our nose as it relates to the horizon. This blue is the sky and brownish, whatever, is the ground. Okay, and it looks like we have a headwind, and that's indicated down here by this arrow. So that headwind is coming from 180 degrees, and it's about hovering around an 8-knot headwind. Hence why we kind of started veering off to the left. So I'm going to dial our speed back a little bit. Let's see. These are our flaps. We're already at full flaps. We need to put the landing gear down. So let's do that. There it is. I just put it down. We're really high, it looks like to me. I'm not an airline pilot. I just started learning, so I'm probably giving a ton of bad information here. Let's try and get back on the seat a little bit. Yeah, we are still at 2,000 feet. And it looks like we're probably about, I don't know, 500 feet from the runway. So we are at full flaps. Let's go ahead and pull that throttle back. We can at most maintain airspeed, even though we want to bleed it off. Now, the reason why our airspeed is staying around 160 is because obviously I have a pretty low, almost a 10-degree nose down attitude. So obviously, if you pitch the nose down, you're going to retain airspeed even with full flaps. Okay, we're at 500 feet. Don't like my camera angle, but that's okay. Oh yeah, this is bad. And we're way too fast. I'm going to accept not landing on that marker, that blue marker, which is where it wants us to land. And I'm just going to go for a smooth landing. Oh no, I screwed it all up. I might have to go around. We're going to go around. We're going to increase the power here. But at least we'll get to see a little bit of Sydney, right? And we're going to put flaps up. We're going to put the gear up. Okay. And let's take a look at Sydney, huh? There we go. Freight. Fantastic. Okay. So our airspeed has dramatically increased, as you can see at the bottom left. Approaching 280 knots. We're going to try and climb a bit. I'm going to climb back up to the 2,000 marker. I believe our throttle is in full, what's called toga, which stands for takeoff. Oh, wow. Way too high. Nose pitched way too high. Takeoff and go around is what that throttle indentation and that acronym stands for. Toga. The toga party. Airspeed super high. We got to level off here. Things are not going well. I cut the power because, oh crap, we are approaching stick shaker territory, which is where the yokes will start shaking because we're going way too fast. You can see it's called the barber pole down there on the speed tape, which is those little red markers there. Okay, well, hello everyone in Sydney. You're getting a nice Nice little noise. I don't know what time it is. So we're at idle throttles. We're losing airspeed, which is good. We went back down to 1,200 feet, which is not good. Let's see if we can climb a tad and lose airspeed at the same time. Oh, Airbus. Look at you, you beaut. And I've completely lost sight of the runway as well. And I don't know where the airport is at all. But let's turn around. Take a look. See if we can find it. Excuse me. Mate, you happen to know where the airport is? No? Alright, let's increase our throttle. Oh, goodness. Okay, so I remember on the first try, all those buildings, downtown Sydney, I suppose, were on the left. So, let's see if we can find this runway. I think we might be perpendicular to it right now. A little more airspeed. Throttle here. One drawback to the Xbox controller is very hard to like fine tune the power settings. Oh my goodness. Okay. Might have to just restart if I can't find the airport. Okay, there it is. It's right here. So we're going to make a left and try and circle back. This is going well. Airspeed is increasing quite a bit. Let's gain some altitude with that so we can approach from further away. And let's not hit that stick shaker. Oh, no. There it goes. I know, mate. And there's the Opera House. Okay, so that's a good point of reference. There she is. Where the fat lady sings. Right. Beautiful downtown Sydney. I read a statistic that 80 or 90% of the population of Australia lives on the coast. Which makes sense because something like 80 or 90% of the animals in Australia are like poisonous or something like that. All right. So there's the Opera House. I think we can start a left bank here. I'm going to try and get... What am I looking for here? Probably like a 20 degree. I think this notch would be like a 20-degree bank. I think it really shows me a bank indication there. I don't know enough about the Airbus whatsoever. I don't know enough about aviation in general. I don't know enough about the Airbus, that's for sure. Safely say I'm banking at a certain angle, etc. Or give anyone any kind of, you know, lessons as to what all these controls and buttons do. All right. So increase the throttle so we don't stall. Interesting evening. Let's see if we can get some visuals on the airport again. Sorry to my passengers back there. Sorry, mate. First officer. Probably shouldn't be looking around like that while I'm halfway through a turn. Alright, so airspeed's high again. Are our flaps still... Okay, so flaps are fully up. I'm going to put one notch of flaps in. Oh, no. No. Yep. You saw those red markers? We're going too fast to put flaps down. That will damage the flaps. Okay, we just need to find the airport and try and line up. I think it's somewhere around there. This is not going well. Wait, what is this? Is that the airport? Ugh. All right. We're at a decent altitude. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're obviously a little bit late. Keep your fucking seatbelt fastened, that's for sure. And make sure to get you an extra bag of peanuts on arrival. Alright? Oh goodness, I've lost sight of downtown. I don't know where anything is. Tell me that's not the airport right there. Is that the airport? I'm blind. I'm not going to get my pilot's license, guys. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, we passed it. Okay, this is a good time to just restart. Because this is a landing challenge. And it's not fun just trying to fly around. Freaking airport. It's just not. Ay. Okay. Let's get a higher seating position here. We're going to try and fight that headwind. It's very slight, but it'll blow you off course if you don't correct. So we know that flaps are full. We're going to go ahead and put gear down. Okay. Let's dial back the throttle just a tad so we can continue to lose altitude without gaining airspeed. Okay. We're already at full flaps. We know that. It starts us at full flaps. It's supposed to keep a bird like this in the air. Climb it to keep a bird like this, to keep a plane like this in the air at 160 knots, which is low, a low speed for this type of aircraft. You kind of have to have full flaps. Flaps create lift. You didn't know. They help assist in slowing down the plane, so you can essentially fly at lower speeds without stalling. Stalling is where your wings exceed the critical angle of attack, which is the position of the wing and what's called the chord line as it relates to the air flowing under and above it. So this is looking decent. Let me dial back on the power, see if we can lower our airspeed. Okay, I'm going to go full idle here. Paying attention. Okay. Not the worst. Not the worst. Not the best. Far from the best. Put those reverse thrusters in. Go on the brakes. Obviously, normally if you were landing here, you'd taxi off the runway. A C? Come on. Gotta try that again. Gotta try it again. All right. Stop talking so much. Okay, so this I should have paid attention to, the loading screen. 190-degree wind at 8 knots. It wants us to go from 160 knots, which is sort of what they start us off at, to 140 knots by landing. We don't need to be at 120 knots, which I was basically almost stalling the plane by the time I touched down. I don't have to do that. Let's fight that headwind. Let's get ahead of the headwind. I reckon we want to be losing some altitude. So you can see down here the altitude indicator, right? Now we're actually losing some altitude, so that's good. We're going to fight those winds. Try and use a little bit of right rudder, just a tad. Let's see here. Yeah. This is a bit better. Not sure if we're losing quite enough altitude. I'm going to dial back the throttle just a tad. That nose down so we only bleed off airspeed slightly, slowly. Remember, 140 knots is what we're looking for. We're at 1,000 feet. Like we're ever so slightly to the left. Now I think we're on course. Dial back the throttle a little bit more. 800 feet. Okay, the camera position was throwing me off as well. Dialing back the throttle. Pulling nose up. No, dial back the throttle. Kill the throttle. Throttle's idle. Okay. Could have been worse. Try and center off on the runway. Reverse thrusters on. Brakes. Okay. All right. It's a B. I think we got a B already. That is our best score. I'm going to accept that one. I'm going to accept it. Could have been worse. Ground roll. 92 feet. So very low score on the ground roll for that landing. Landing precision, 285 feet. Did pretty well there. I believe that's the total. That's how centered on the runway you are. I think. It's a little confusing. Ground roll, you would think that's how long you roll forward for, I suppose. The goal is to try and stop the plane as fast as possible. Anyway. I'm going to take the B on that one. The airliners are tough. Even though that's not like the scariest landing, you know, it spawns you right in front of the freaking runway. I'm going to move on. I like the smaller planes. Let's go back to the landing challenges. See what other famous ones we can hit. I've already done quite a few of these, but let's see if we can maybe get some better scores here. Got an A on a fair amount of them. Is there anything in the Cessna? Transylvania. Oh, this one's pretty cool. Let's try and get an A here. So this is like the Halloween. I think they released this particular landing during Halloween. It's in Transylvania, which I guess is modern day Romania. Vlad the Impaler and all that, kind of like the birthplace of the idea of Dracula. But let's give it a go. Really, really beautiful visuals on this one. We are going to be in the Cessna 152, which is a slightly smaller and less powerful version of the 172, the plane that I did my discovery flight in not too long ago, and the plane that's most widely used, I believe, and most commonly used by flight schools and just, you know, general aviators. Beyond a saw-like ridge of the Carpathian Mountains, past ancient castles and fortresses of Transylvania, Aerodromul Piatra waits in the dying light of day. To reach the small airfield, pilots must wing their way through forbidding skies and stormy weather above the Romanian countryside and descend into a region notoriously cloaked in dark. Alright, so it's runway 04, which I guess is this here, this little landing strip. It's basically a grass field, it looks like. Let's give it a shot. And then the flight conditions, as you can see up here, not so great. A little bit scurry. Okay, so 85 knots. It's going to start us off at 65 knots is what we want to land. There's a 352-degree crosswind at 3 knots. So it's really not very low wind. And knots are nautical miles per hour, I believe. Nautical? I don't know. All right, Aerodrome Piatra Claiorulio. Look at this. This is intense. Oh my god, it's completely dark. Oh my goodness. I do not know. Oh my god, look at the lightning. Okay. So let's get a higher seating position here. See if we can get the airport in sight. I can't see a thing. I can't see my airspeed indicator or anything like that. There's got to be some lights in here. Oh my goodness. Got some weird stuff happening on the radios. Oh, the lightning. Now we're looking for the airstrip. Is that it up here? Oh, maybe. We gotta rely on the lightning to give us some good visuals here. Oh no, this is bad. This is bad. I don't know where. Thought there were some lights on the runway. Sorely mistaken. Fooled by Dracula again. That's a reflection. Okay. Holy Bram Stoker. Okay, so this might be a true discovery flight because I have no freaking clue where the airfield is. Let's see if we can get some visuals. We are all over the place. Oh. Aha. Okay, I see it. To the left. Let's see if we can get on over this way. Running from Vlad the Impaler. If I'm not mistaken, Vlad the Impaler used to impale his enemies' bodies on pikes and leave them out front of his castle or something for his other enemies to see. Something like that. Pretty creepy. Romania. I don't know much about Romania other than Bucharest, I think, is the capital, and Vlad the Impaler and all that. I hear there's some beautiful castles. Eastern Europe. I don't even really know where it is. It's not too far from Italy, if I'm not mistaken. It's like right next to Croatia? I don't know. All right, so there's the airstrip. Trying to see our airspeed. I think we're over 100 knots. I'm going to dial that back a little bit. I'm going to put flaps in, even though I probably shouldn't. So there's actually a little white strip on the airspeed indicator on the right-hand side that kind of curves. You're supposed to be within those speeds before you apply flaps. But I did not listen today. So let's go ahead and dial our airspeed back. Dial the throttles back. Oh, crimey. And I can barely see anything. Alright, it's not looking horrible. Do we have more flaps? No? Okay. I don't know. Okay. Oh. Oh, man. Okay. I pulled back too early. Yikes. This is a bad one. And I should have flared. Didn't do that. And we bounced. And this is a giant failure. Welcome to Romania. You only paid about €3 for that one. I didn't land on the designated runway. Give that a shot. Now we know where the friggin' airstrip is. Let's see if we can get in there. Okay. Okay, so there's a little mountain here. Left-hand side. I think we need to pull to the left a little bit. So we're passing the mountain. There's the creepy radio noises. Ha ha ha. So we're moving left. Need to move left even more is my question. Still can't see the runway. The graphics in this game are pretty freaking awesome. All right, let's turn a tad and just see if we can get eyes on the runway. Oh, is that it? Right here? Yep, that's it. Okay, so let's move left. Try and get lined up with the runway as soon as possible. It looks like our airspeed, I think, is over 100 knots. You can move a bit forward, closer to the runway before I dialed that back. I can't see anything in the cockpit at all. Flaps, can't see it. Simply can't. And now I've moved my camera back, and now we're about to stall. Yeah, the relationship between the the mouse and the Xbox controller is not one that will last. Okay. I think we're in a better position here. Can't see the altitude indicator. I believe it's this one here. So let's pull back on the throttle just a tad. We're coming in pretty fast. Okay, this is looking okay. Looking at the ground to try and judge my altitude. There's got to be lights in here somewhere. Okay, let's dial it back. Flaps. Flaps 2. If we have any. Now let's dial back the... Yeah. Throttle to idle. Okay. If I can flare this properly, I think we're fast. High. Way too fast. We're going around. Oh, jack-o'-lanterns at the end of the runway. Didn't notice that last time. Okay. Touchdown was canceled. I've been canceled. Why? Didn't break the plane or anything like that. All right. Last try on this one. It's pretty tough because you just can't see anything. Still fun, though. Okay. I'm going to try and get there a little bit faster this time as well. Maybe I can look for lights. Cockpit lighting? Gotta be something in. Kind of have to just move my mouse around and hover over stuff. Let's get the yoke out of the way. Maybe we'll get a nice lightning strike that'll light up cabin here so I can see some stuff. Oh. Oh. Anything over here? CDI? No. Christ. Transponder. Throttle. Mixture. Trim wheel. Oh. What was that? Glare shield lighting brightness. Aha! Okay. Well, I'll take that. That was... We don't need quite that much. Okay, this is good. Okay. So now, let's look back up. Let's sit a little bit higher in the cockpit here. And what are our readings here? So airspeed is approaching 90 knots. Let's find the runway. Altimeter, 3,500 feet. Pretty high up. Let's see here. And all of that, trying to find lighting for the cockpit. We may have lost the runway. Do we turn far left? Oh boy. Oh boy. That way? No, I think it's... Oh, there we go. There we go. To Papa. Okay. Airspeed has increased to 100 knots. So let's dial back the throttle. Try and lose some altitude and airspeed. In fact, I'm going to go... Basically go idle right now. Okay, airspeed's coming down. Altimeter is not. Pitch for altitude here. I think we almost ran into a mountain, by the way. It's not cool. Airspeed's coming down quite a bit. Maybe a little too much. Dial up the throttle just a little bit more. Airspeed's hovering around 80. Is our altimeter like broken? I think it's just broken. Yeah. Yeah, that's broken. Cool. Let's go flaps. That nose down. Have no idea what altitude we're at. Fantastic. Let's go flaps 2 if we can. Okay. All right, this is looking promising. Yep, bleeding off the airspeed. We want to get to 65 knots. Throttle idle. There's our landing spot. Flare it. Oh, weird. This runway is weird. Oh man. Can we stop before the last jack-o'-lantern? No. No. And we're off. Didn't even land on the runway. This might be my last go with this one. Ah, man. It's not even Halloween. Can't do that one again. That's brutal. It's brutal. Man. I wanted to at least get a grading. I got a B on it at one point. Weird. Let's see what else we've got here. Let's try and do some of the scenic ones. I've already gotten a grade on all of the famous challenges. The scenic ones are the epic ones. So let's see. Yeah, I've only done, I think, one of these. This is pretty cool. I think we could probably find Cessna. Ooh, look at that. KNAX. I don't know what. Miramar? I don't know what airport that is. Courchevel. That's supposed to be pretty cool. We could give that a try. Yeah, let's try Courchevel. Not familiar with this plane. Daher BM 930. Beautiful though. Okay. So there's the runway. Very short. Looks like it's got a steep incline. Makes things interesting. Situated in the French Alps, Courchevel Altiport is a Altiport. Okay, French people. Courchevel Altiport is a small mountainous aerodrome serving the ultra-exclusive ski resort of Courchevel. The airfield, famous for its difficult approach and extremely short upward sloping runway, is made even more challenging with no go-around procedure due to the treacherous surrounding rocky terrain. All right, so basically, if you get to your minimum descent altitude, like when you get to the altitude you would have picked, which is going to be your minimum decision, or not minimum descent altitude, minimum decision altitude, something like that. Basically, you get to a point, you're close to the runway, a certain altitude, where you either commit or go around. Like, can't land, we got to keep going. With this airport, they say that there's no go around procedure. Now, I imagine if you're facing strong winds and you're far enough away to where you could go around. I mean, you're also at high altitude, so the air is less dense, so you probably don't get as good of performance out of the airplane. Meaning, you might go full throttle, but it's not going to respond like it would at a lower altitude, or maybe more dense air climate. Yeah, so this one, you got to be a good pilot to land here, that's for sure. A lot of experience, and you better know what you're doing, because once you commit to landing, you're committed. Look at this, man. This person got 2 million points on this landing challenge. All right, so it's runway 22. Runway length is 1,788 feet. The elevation is 6,371 above sea level. Flight conditions look to be okay. Beautiful Courchevel. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Decided to get a yoke, some rudder pedals. So you, in a plane, if you guys didn't know this, you operate, when you're on the ground, you actually steer with your feet. The rudder pedals, there's a left and a right rudder pedal, move the rudder in the back of the plane, thus changing whether you're going left or right when you're on the ground. And kind of in the sky, but you're going to use ailerons and the wing flaps and stuff to left and right when you're in the air. When you're on the ground, it's weird. It's like your instincts are, if you've never flown a plane before, or never driven a plane or taxied a plane on the ground, your instincts are going to be to grab the yoke. You know, it's like a steering wheel. Try and turn left or right. Okay, this TBM is loud. So let's get in the cockpit and see what's going on. All right, it's a nice little plane here. Airspeed 125 knots. Altitude is going up. We're at 7,800 feet. Let's try and get eyes on the runway. Let's see here. So gear is still up. Let's see. Flaps are in the middle. There's only 2 notches of flaps on this one. Power is high. Oh, and we're nose up. Yep. That's what I get. But at least we're losing airspeed. All right. So let's try and find this friggin' runway. This is beautiful. Oh, All right, guys. Coming in for a crazy landing. Let's see if we can do it. This is completely unsafe. Shouldn't have picked this airline. No, that's not going to work. We're not even going to get close to it. Au revoir, Courchevel. Well, we'll give it another go. Let's see. All right, so at least we know the position of our flaps. Now we know our airspeed, and we know we need to start descending quickly. Okay, is that the airport? Yeah, that's the airstrip. Okay. So we're going to need to come in for a right bank. Lead off some of that airspeed. Let's put our gear down. Yeah, I heard you. I heard you. Seriously? I've got the gear down. Am I missing something? I don't know where the gear is on this plane. And we're way too low. This is just bad. Gear's down, lady. Oh, cry me a river. Okay. All right. So, oh, no. Okay, so our gear's down. That lady scared the crap out of me. Okay, throttle to idle. You know what? You're in Courchevel now, bitches. No! What? How do you avoid that? We gotta go rudder for. Oh, Jesus, that ruined it. That ruined it all. I bet we would have gotten like a, I don't know, at least a C. All right, well, we still got a C. Hey, you made it. You walk away from the plane? Huh? Go ski? Eat some croissants? You paid 30 euros for that flight. Don't complain. 30 euros. Landing precision, 111 feet. Okay, so that wasn't our worst. Ground roll, 52 feet. That was pretty bad. And the landing smoothness was bad. We could do better. Give that another shot. Okay. This one is very difficult. But the graphics in this game, man, so beautiful. So beautiful. It really is incredible to think how far, I don't want to say gaming, but just, you know, simulating gaming, things like that have come. Microsoft has essentially mapped the entire world. You can fly wherever you want in this game. anywhere in the world. It's crazy. Any of the airports, pretty much. Multiple different types of planes. You can do it all in real time. You can do it in real weather. It's pulling over the internet, real live weather data. It also pulls from the internet real live air traffic, so you can actually see other planes in the game simulator that are actually flying out there in the real world. Pretty amazing, man. Pretty cool. And once again, I'm sorry to my passengers. It's like I didn't do enough training, and I'm not qualified to fly you around. You made a bad decision by flying on this airline. Okay? I'm just going to say it. You didn't do your due diligence. On you. If you can get out of my plane, walk to drink your latte, well, I don't really care that you experienced 7 G's. Shit your pants along the way. Wipe it off, take a shower, go skiing. What do you want? What do you want from me? You made it. Better than Malaysian Airlines. Okay? It's taking a long time to load. Okay. 105 knots is what we start off at. Want to reduce that by 10, about halfway through the approach. And we want to be at around 85 knots on our final leg of the approach there. 182 degree headwind, 7 knots. Okay, so it's a little bit windy. And the runway is at 6,371. So I can look at my altimeter, do some math in my head, which I'm really good at. Wow, imagine landing here. Once in my life, I would like to land here. That would be cool. Okay, let's give it a shot. All right, so 7,700. Okay, so we're about 1,400 feet above the runway. Okay, so let's, before this lady starts complaining, put our gear down. Okay, it doesn't want us to put our gear down yet because we're too fast. God, lady. Lady. All right, let's see if we can bleed off that airspeed. I know. Will it let us put it down now? Let's just leave it toggled. I don't know anything about this plane. Let's leave the landing gear toggled, and then maybe once our speed gets to a certain reduction. Yep, there we go. Okay, so now it's safe enough to put our gear down. If you put your gear down when you're going a certain speed, depending on the plane, we need flaps. We need lots of flaps. It can damage the gear. That's what I was saying there. Okay, and we're going to put more throttle in because we are way too low. Yay. Oh, we're about to stall. And okay. Let's you know what, let's try a go around. No, it's not gonna let us. Oh, well, it was nice knowing you. That was not one of our better. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's focus here. What is the key? Well, let's dial back the throttle. Let's see if we can turn a little bit wider. So there's the strip of there. Airspeed's coming up way too much. And again, it's that performance altitude has affected, right? So you can't do these throttle swings. And if you're low, if you're low by the time you're trying to land, if you go full throttle, it's not going to work as well. Look at the ski resort. Okay, let's toggle the gear down for this lady. It's on its way. I think 105 is what we're looking for. 85 actually. Oh, it's got reversers. That's why. Oh my goodness. Oh, everyone's dead. Everyone's dead. We all died. Oh, let's not go. Yeah, let's not fall back like we did the first time. Let's keep moving up the hill just a tad. There we go. Okay, now we're not going to fall over. This one's tough, y'all. It's tough, man. I don't know. Gotta try it again. I can't let it go with 57,000 points. Come on, this guy's got 2 million. Uno mas. Uno mas. One more time. Gonna celebrate. Is that Daft Punk? They're French. Okay, 105 knots, 95 knots, 85 knots. Finding this one a little bit difficult to get the airspeed low. And okay, all right, okay. I think I know what to do. I'm pitching down too much, pitching the nose down too much. I need to use the throttle for altitude, airspeed, excuse me, power for altitude. I'm going to dial that back without pitching the nose down. And we'll descend, hopefully, at the proper rate. But most importantly, I don't know. Fuck it up. Oh, man. It's weird. It's like the last time it barely took any time to load. This time it's taking a while. Yeah, guys. If you like this video, right now it's a live stream. Maybe watching this while it is not a live stream, and I've edited this into a good old video. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And I do a mixture of stuff on this channel. My background and the majority of videos on this channel are obviously politically and socio-politically and news related. But I like to play video games as well. So if you guys want, subscribe for the gaming, subscribe for the politics and the commentary, the travel, whatever else I do on this thing. But I love you guys. Stay tuned. We're going to do one more. We're going to see if this works. It's possible. I don't know what is going on. It is taking way longer than normal to load. Just got a new computer with a 4090 graphics card. This thing is a monster. 4090 graphics card, 128 gigabytes of RAM. AMD 7950X processor. Up to snuff motherboard. Decent cooling. I don't know what. This one's acting weird. I am also using the same PC to stream this. It's affecting. Okay. Have to jump in here. Courchevel, ooh la la. 6:06 a.m. Ready for that early morning slope hitting. Oh, that's loud. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let's reduce our speed a little bit, our power. Like we're about 2,000 RPM. That down. Altitude is not decreasing. Not pitch the nose down too much. Do we have sight on the strip? Yes, we do. Start kind of leaning to the right here. Go ahead and get the gear ready to come down once we are in position here. Flaps. There we go. I think, yeah, our lack of flaps was definitely what was missing quite a bit. We want it to be at 85 knots, if I'm not mistaken. Holy mackerel, this is epic. More flaps? Give me all the flaps. Give me all the flaps. Yeah, this is looking a lot better. The throttle idle. Oh, very decent. Let's get up the hill and then we'll come to a full stop. I'm going to take that as my last attempt, chat. Woohoo! Oh, yeah. I like it. Oh, no, not reverse. Not reverse. No, 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 no. Just stop. Just stop. Yeah! Woohoo! Woo! Even though we were about to roll down the hill backwards and kill everybody on the plane. Shouldn't be laughing. It's not funny. If I ever want to get a job as an airline pilot, I hope they don't watch this. We got our A. I'll take it. Over 1 million. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Flaps. Give me all the flaps. I'm going to get a t-shirt made. Give me all the flaps. What an epic, epic landing challenge. Thank you for sticking with me for a little bit while we did this. I'm excited to bring some more of them. The graphics in this game are absolutely beautiful. It's so cool to be able to fly these planes and visit different locales. Courchevel obviously looks absolutely stunning. What an incredible... I would forget the skiing and the snowboarding and the croissants and lattes. I would just want to go there, land at that airport. That would be scary as hell, but that would be super fun. But if you guys like the video, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell, all that jazz. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's some sort of crazy epic plane or place in the world that you think I should visit. I'm going to be doing more of these videos in the future. And you guys are awesome. So, appreciate you sticking around. Got an A, baby. Got an A.